Hey, I'm Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. I'm going to talk to you right now about selling in the month of December. Yes, you can. Prospecting in the month of December. Yes, you can. I'm going to walk you through a series of techniques and strategies and ideas that you can use to make December effective for you, regardless of the industry you're in. If you like the video, hit subscribe. And hey, click down below or in the description because I got an ebook I want you to grab also. Here's the whole thing. People who sit there and say, no, you can't prospect in December. No, you can't sell in December. The only reason people say that is because they don't want to be out there selling. They do not want to be out there selling. That drives me nuts for one very simple reason. I don't know about you, but I have a 12-month sales quota. That means I need 12 months. If I have a 12-month sales quota and I can effectively get it done in 11 months, whoa. I doubt that's you. I doubt that's too many people. You see, so what I want you to do is I want you to use December because it is a very effective month to be selling. Now, here's the whole thing. And this works regardless of the industry you're in. I hear people say, well, I can't sell because you don't understand my industry. You don't. No. You see, maybe at the street level, maybe in the lower levels, they're too busy, but that means senior management is totally freed up and you can be talking to them. You see, it depends on where you want to be reaching out to. But you first have to have the mindset. Let's jump into some of these techniques. First of all, I want you to find out from your own company. What days are you open? What days are you closed? What's the whole year-end strategy as to how you're going to be handling and processing orders that are coming in? That's very important to know. 2, reach out and call your own customers and ask them that same thing. You know what? As a salesperson, you're going to be one of the first salespeople, if you do it right now, to do that. Your customers are going to be shocked that you're calling them, asking them. You know what? They're going to be probably thinking, they're going to be saying, wow, you're right. We got to get this figured out. And it's amazing how just that simple strategy alone is going to bring you new opportunities. Now, here's the other piece. You know what those two are, but you know what? Now you get to leverage it. And here's how you begin to leverage it. You come back to them and you sit there and you say those existing customers, hey, you're going to be closed that day. We got to get these orders in the system now. We got to make sure this happens because if we wait till that last day, it's going to be too late. And you begin playing money and time. Your existing customers have money they need to spend, and they also have time. Because here's the whole thing. If I wait till the first of the year, no, not going to work. Now, hold on. I'm going to share with you something very interesting. You can do this with customers that are at the bottom of your pipeline. In other words, they're about ready to close, they're about ready to come out as customers. You call them up and say, hey, I want to just find out what's your year-end strategy? What dates are you closed? What dates are you open? Oh, you're right. I'm amazed at the number of salespeople I work with that have used that very simple technique of calling prospects, hot prospects, and asking them when they're going to be closed, when they're going to be open, and how they're going to handle year-end orders. And it's amazing how it triggers business. Now, guess what? I can also do that with prospects further up the food chain. Yes, I can. Yeah. And it's amazing the conversations it creates. Now, here's another strategy I want you to do. I want you to be calling all of your current customers, and I want you to be thanking them for the business this year. Now, don't sit there and say, hey, Mark, hold it. We sent them a holiday card. We send them gifts. We do. No. You pick up the phone, you call them. The conversation is going to be incredible because the conversation is immediately going to turn to, hey, what do you got going on next year? What do you think going to be some of the big things for next year? And maybe there's some business we need to take care of. Right? Wow. It's amazing how it creates. And you know what? You can also do this with customers you've lost and prospects who never came to be. Because, one of the things I love saying is best way to make a prospect a customer is to treat them like a customer. So you treat them like a customer. Say, hey, I know we didn't do business this year, but I want to thank you for the privilege of getting to know you. I thank you. And it's amazing how it winds up creating opportunities. Now, if you sell in a commodity business where, customers you're calling, the prospects you're calling are currently buying from somebody else, this is the month you got to be on the phone. You have got to be on the phone. Why? Because chances are your competitors, well, I'm going to let my customers be, they just kind of, it's amazing how they take customers for granted. I tell people in commodity sales, this is the month to be calling because you're calling. They're going to say, wow, you're out there selling. You're out there looking for, you must be really serious. Yes. And it's amazing how many orders you'll get this time of year, especially as you get really close to Christmas and New Year's. It's amazing number of business, the amount of business you can get, and it falls in your lap. What's the next strategy? Next strategy is I want you to be calling people who you don't normally get a chance to be talking to. Yeah, these might be higher ups. These might be little people broaden up. And you call them, and it's amazing because this time of year, schedules begin to go awry. This is especially true in industries where you normally can't reach out to people this time of year. Okay, so an example, retail industry or e-commerce business, very busy month. I get it, total, very busy. At the warehouse level, at the store level, but you get into senior management and they know they have to be a little more hands off. I work with customers in that industry, and it's the case. And I can get meetings with them. I get lunches with them. And what's really cool is I call people up and I get into a dialogue with them and I say, hey, what's your calendar look like for next Tuesday? What's your calendar look like for next Wednesday? It's amazing how I can get meetings up. Now, you may call somebody up and they'll say, well, you know what? Reach out and touch base with me after the first year. No, don't. Here's the whole thing. I want to do it now. Hey, next Tuesday, next Wednesday. Let's grab it now before it gets busy. I'm going to share with you in just a moment how to confirm December appointments. A little different strategy you want to use. Now, if they do absolutely insist that they can't talk with you this time of year, then fine. You say, hey, what's your calendar look like for January 2nd? Because I want to be flat out aggressive at getting that on the deal, on my calendar. Or the 3rd. Here's the whole thing. Most of your competitors are going to kick back and relax. And they're going to come into the first year with nothing on their calendar, which means they're not going to start really actively selling until the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th of January. By that time, you've already had half a dozen meetings because you've been aggressive at getting meetings. See, when I get aggressive in December, the byproduct is I wind up with stuff on my calendar for January. Now, how do you confirm a meeting in December? Meeting in December, you do not confirm by way of email. No, you confirm by way of voicemail. Because, yeah, schedules change. I get it because it's not a consistent, uniform month. So what happens is you're going to send somebody an email and they're going to, you know what? We've got some other stuff going on. Let's catch up. No. I call and I leave a voicemail. This is important to do it by way of voicemail. It's harder for them to cancel a meeting by way of voicemail, right? But here's the whole thing. Don't say I'm confirming lunch tomorrow at 12. No. Hey, looking forward to lunch. And I'm going to bring you some additional insights and you see, I'm bringing them additional information. I'm bringing them something additional. Now it says, whoa, wait a minute. This is an important meeting. I don't want to miss it. And your percentage of meetings that will get canceled in the month of December will drop dramatically if you use that strategy. Here's another strategy I want you to use. I want you to make it very simple for your customers to do business with you. One of the key things, depending on what you sell, you may have to get credit approvals. You may have to get lines of credit set up. Understand what those thresholds are. Because sometimes for some companies, and I've worked with a lot of companies that have had this, if you get above a certain threshold, there's a whole additional level of credit background, credit searching, credit checking that has got to go on. So I want to make it simple because what I want to do is I want to make it easy for my customers to sit there and place an order that's going to fall under that threshold that I can place it. But I also want to make it very simple for my customers to do business with me in anything. Here's why. I may be trying to close my number and I want to close my number and I may have a big gap. But minimally what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to close my gap in terms of customers I have who I'm going to be doing business with next year. What do I mean by this? You may be falling short of your number and you want to get this customer with this big order and you've tied it back to their most critical need. You've tied it back to time. You've tied it back to money. Because remember, until they buy from you, they're never going to be in a position to achieve their ROI. Until they buy from you, they're never going to be able to achieve the benefit, the gain, the aspiration, relieve the critical pain, whatever it might be, until they buy from you. So the sooner they start, the better off, because if I wait until after the first year, guess what? It's going to get caught up in other things. But here's the whole thing. You may want that big deal, but you can't get it. So make it simple. Make it simple and narrow it down. Make it smaller. Because here's the whole thing. At least if I can get something out of you this year, it's going to set me up in a better position to be able to be building on that come the first of the year. You see, what I find is that the salespeople who are aggressive in the month of December always have a better January. When I work with sales teams and they tell me that January sucked and January wasn't good, I always come back and I ask them, how was your December? What were your people doing in December? And it's amazing. As January goes, it is directly tied to what you drove in the month of December. Hey, I'm Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. I want you to hit subscribe to these videos, and drop down below and grab the ebook I got right there for you. Hey, I'm Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. And the book, hey, High Profit Prospecting, Great Selling.